Life's too short, isn't it? When you're young, you hear older people say that a lot. Life's too short. Get out and enjoy yourself. All this sort of thing. I'm going to talk about the impact that alcohol has on your life, on my life in particular, and maybe many of you. I'll let your thoughts as well on this. Because when you're young, you've got lots of life ahead of you, haven't you? You never think about getting older. And you go with the flow, which I did. Myself, many of my friends started drinking at the age of 14, 15. Not massive amounts, a little bit here and there, a few drinks, a few pints. Get a little bit older, a bit more confident, maybe, with a drink. Because alcohol at the time was a solution to my problem. And I was a bit shy. Very tall, very thin. Felt a bit out of place sometimes. But after a few drinks I felt a bit better, a bit more confident. Then you start the dating game, don't you? All this sort of thing. Then you start a career, maybe early 20s, and you're still drinking. In fact, you're probably drinking more. I moved to London, big city lights, big city life. So I drink more and more. I just thought it was part of the course, because I joined a profession where lots of people drank, worked shifts in central London, got promoted. I had a great time. But I thought what was a great time. In my early 30s, I still looked ahead and thought, well, I'm never going to be 60. It's a long time until I'm 40. Kept drinking. You're starting to get a few of the symptoms or the major signs of drinking too much. Bad heads, feeling dehydrated, feeling very tired, lack of motivation, all this sort of thing. But still carried on because a lot of my colleagues felt the same. We used to get up early, looking for early turn and say, God, I had a rough night last night. We're not going for a drink today. Lo and behold, by 2:30, when the shift had changed, we'd go to the pub and have a couple of liveners, maybe. Not everybody, but a few of the heavy drinkers did. Me included, of course, because I used to like a drink. I used to drink lager, premium lager, never any spirits or anything, not that matters. But I was still young enough to, what I thought was get by. And then suddenly time moves on. You'll start a family, get more stress in your life, all this sort of thing. And time starts to not run out, but you start thinking, well, hang on a minute, I'm nearly 40 now. A bit more tired, a bit more stressed, all this sort of thing. Maybe your marriage is going too well, all sorts of reasons. So you reach for the bottle, don't you? And that's when I started to get a few problems. I was on my days off, I used to drink a bit more, or too much, far too much. And then sometimes I'd have a hair of the dog. As you know, that's reaching for the bottle in the morning. Whenever you wake up, really. Felt a bit rough, that would put you right for a few hours, and then have another drink, start again. Then I've got problems with anxiety, couldn't travel very well, all this sort of thing. Eventually retired, got divorced, had more time to myself, had some cash spare, and I just ended up in the pub all the time. Still thought I could handle it, but I didn't realise it was controlling me. A little bit of time off it now and again, but I always went back to it. Relapsed many times, many times. And then eventually, 2006, I thought I'm going to have a few years off. I thought it would be a lifetime off actually, so 8 years I was sober. Relapsed again, 2014, and then drank for 5 years. I tried to get medications from the doctor, wouldn't give me any. I knew I was going to be in a mess, couldn't stop. I was finding I was going to have a seizure. All this good time that I had when I was younger had faded away. And I was a lonesome, depressed mess, to be honest, in 2019, when I eventually got taken by emergency ambulance into an emergency hospital in Newcastle, in RVI, where I was put into the acute medical ward. I was told I had serious complications from alcohol use, or alcohol abuse, so to say, and I had to use fluid. This is a build-up of fluid in the peritoneum, and I had spontaneous bacterial peritonitis, which in a lot of cases can be fatal. Massive shock, obviously, to me, my family, and I was told I probably wouldn't get out of the hospital. I was released from there and I attended a specialist liver hospital, alcohol, gastro type of hospital, where a lot of problem drinkers used to go. A lot of problem drinkers used to die. Basically, I was told there, if you have a drink, you will be dead in 6 months. So we're going to get a grip of this. Horrendous situation I was in. Living on my own. I'd lost a lot of weight. Most of my muscle mass had gone. I hadn't been eating properly. Flat was a mess. But I had this huge distended stomach with this ascites. So they used to drain the fluid off every few weeks. And then I had a little procedure to try and improve liver function, which worked eventually. But for 2 years I was in that hospital. And I died a couple of times. I can talk about it quite freely now because it's over. I was in intensive care. Probably one of the most worrying times of my life. I also got taken into resus once from home, where because I had this distended stomach, I got a really bad umbilical hernia which split, I believe, and I nearly bled to death. As I said, I can talk about it freely now, but at the time, mass panic. That was during COVID, we believe. So I was ill at the worst time I could be ill, to be fair, because the hospitals were stretched anyway. Managed to get over that. A little bit of determination, a lot of determination, some good medical care, no alcohol obviously. I still had to go back to the hospital every 2 to 3 weeks to get this fluid drained off. They weren't sure what they could do with that, and eventually settled down. Well, by a lot of good management. And July 2021, just over 3 years ago, my father passed away. I was still very weak, sometimes even in a wheelchair. I thought I've got to be strong for my mother here, my family, my daughter. And I started to walk a little bit. I spoke to the doctor. I said, you'd be fine just to walk 20 yards, walk 30 yards, walk 40 yards and build up on that, get stronger, which I did. And to my amazement, I felt better. Very strict diet, which I'm still on now. Lots of fruit, vegetables, fish, meat, all good food. Lots of water, zero alcohol, of course. That's the key, zero alcohol. That's what you need. And you'll pull through. And when you get sober, the benefits are massive. Because for me, this is a new beginning. I'm happy again, I've got a future. I'm fit, I'm healthy. I look better, my skin's cleared up. I'm not in the mess I was before. I put some muscle mass back on because I'm eating properly. Eat 3 or 4 meals a day. Look after myself. A lot of self-care. Good relationship with my daughter again. My mother, with my girlfriend, everything's fine. My message to you is, it's never too late to stop. I'll stop later in life. If you can stop when you're younger, the benefits will be even more. But you become more productive for a start. If you're still working for a living, you'll get the promotion. You'll get the extra cash. You'll feel like doing the overtime, and you will succeed. Please subscribe to the channel if you're interested in this sort of subject or it's doing any good. If you want me to comment, if you want me to do any videos on any particular subject, then please leave a note in the comments box and I'll speak to you all soon.